What a wonderfully inspiring song that is, You Raise Me Up. And how we have needed those words, particularly over the last few years, how much we realized how we need each other, how we need our family, our friends, our neighbors, our communities of faith, the people who are closest to us, to help us through difficult moments. That's when we really realize they're there. That's when, I suppose, they show us where the light is when all we could see is darkness. And a song like You Raise Me Up epitomizes that. And it serves as a reminder, and maybe it's something we should keep close to us more often. And it's actually a song that was, once again, the Irish claim it. It was written by an Irishman, Mr. Brendan Graham, and he also wrote Isle of Hope, Isle of Tears. So in many ways, it's funny when I kind of songs that have had an impact across the world, and then you trace the roots back. And I love bringing Irish songs with me, but it's great when You Raise Me Up just happens to be Irish as well. It's very useful. Yeah, we're both in there. Mr. Seamus Brett on piano, ladies and gentlemen. So we've been, myself and Seamus flew over from Ireland the other day. We flew up to San Francisco, and then we were in Utah for a couple of days, performing there, some concerts, and then we popped up to see you guys, and we head down to Phoenix tomorrow, and then Dallas, and then we're over to Florida. So people look at our schedules and they kind of say to us, for two men from such a small country, you sure know how to get around the place. You'd think for the Irish distance would be an issue, but apparently not. It's funny when people come to Ireland then, they say, we were there for 2 hours and we drove the whole country. Sounds about right, yeah. And on the wrong side of the road. How many of you have actually been to Ireland? Show of hands. Quite a few of you. The rest of you will have to make it over at some point. These guys can give you tips. You all made it back alive and sober. Well done. It's a wonderful place. We love to welcome our friends particularly from the United States. There's such a great connection between the two countries. And over the years of touring, I've learned so much, not only about America, but about Ireland from meeting so many of you guys, because, we had Mark, who so kindly has welcomed us here to this church today, and we were talking to him beforehand about his family from Mayo in the west of Ireland, and I'm sure many of you have Irish roots. And it's so interesting when you come to America and you meet people, and it used to be the case where they'd say, I'm 1/2 Irish and 1/4 German and Dutch and whatever, and now it's so specific. Well, I've got 17% Ireland, and I've got 22.5% Norwegian, and it's very interesting. We have all the data now. It's great. Actually, during the lockdowns, I was back in Ireland back in 2020 and 21. It all feels like 1 year, doesn't it? It's like you try to remember something that happened. That was in 2020, and no, actually that was in 21. It's a big blur. But I saw a lot of my home, the four walls. A lot more of it than I'd seen in about 12 years. But one of the things that myself and the Celtic Thunder guys did is we started making documentaries about different topics that we would stream every couple of months. So one particular documentary we did was Ireland kind of through spirituality and faith. And I had the chance to go to a place in the west of Ireland, actually in County Mayo, known as Knock. And it's a very important pilgrimage site particularly for Catholics, and indeed many Christians the world over. And we travelled there and visited the Basilica and the site of the Heavenly Apparition, which happened in the late 1700s, and it's become this place of peace and solace for people from all over the world. And we got to explore different topics like that, and we also we actually went and did our ancestry as well. So you can do it on 23andMe, or there's loads of different websites you can do it on, and you look back at your lineage and you discover that you've 400 cousins you never heard of. And then when you're out touring America, they come out of the woodwork and they email you. I remember one time being on tour in Edmonton, in Canada, and it was with Celtic Thunder, and we had just done our show, and we're in the dressing room after, and, you know, we finish up with the kilts, you know, so I'm there, I'm sitting on my kilt, you know, having a cup of coffee, and or an Irish coffee, and it was a night off, and our tour manager, Ger, comes into the dressing room and says, Emmett, your family are here, I just brought them into catering, so come on in and say hello to them whenever you're ready, take your time, you know, and have your coffee. And I said to her, what are you talking about? She says, oh, your family, they're here, your family, they told me they're your, you knew they were. I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So like, oh right, are you not related to these people? I was like, well, no point asking me, you may ask them. So I go into catering and I'm introduced to these people and say, yeah, we're related to your mom, and your mom's family emigrated here in the 50s and went out to work on in the oil industry, you know, in Calgary and Edmonton and all those places. And I'm introduced to these people that I had never heard of. But I walked in, I recognized the nose on them, you see. I was like, yeah, they've got my mom's nose and I have my mom's nose. So I'm like, yeah, that's them. But it's the amazing thing about it, you know, you start to go on these journeys unexpected. So I don't know where I was going with that conversation really, but oh yes, I think you guys should sing now. And you're going to join me for this next Irish song. It's one of the rules about coming to an Irish concert. And for those of you who've been before, you know the drill. You should have warned the others before they go. So we're all going to have a little rehearsal of this next Irish song. I feel like you're going to know it, so it's going to be okay. So I'd say we'll do probably D flat to keep it all. Yeah, that's where you are. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Tooraloo-ra-loo-ra, tooraloo-ra-lie, tooraloo-ra-loo-ra. Hush, now don't you cry. Tooraloo-ra-loo-ra, tooraloo-ra-lie, tooraloo-ra-loo-ra. That's an Irish lullaby. That's pretty good. I think there's more in you though. Do you want to try it once more with a little bit more gusto in your Irish song? Tooraloo-ra-loo-ra, tooraloo-ra-lie, tooraloo-ra-loo-ra. Hush, now don't you cry. Tooraloo-ra-loo-ra, tooraloo-ra-lie, tooraloo-ra-loo-ra. That's an Irish lullaby. Very good. Over in Killarney, many years ago, me mother sang a song to me in tones so sweet and low. Just a simple little ditty in her good old Irish way, and I'd give the world if she could sing that song to me this day. Tooraloo-ra-loo-ra, tooraloo-ra-lie, tooraloo-ra-loo-ra. Hush, now don't you cry. Tooraloo-ra-loo-ra, tooraloo-ra-lie, tooraloo-ra-loo-ra. That's an Irish lullaby. Often dreams I wander to that cot again. I feel her softly hugging me as when she held me then, and I hear her voice humming to me as in days of yore, when she used to rock me fast asleep outside the cabin door. Tooraloo-ra-loo-ra, tooraloo-ra-la, tooraloo-ra-loo-ra. Hush, now don't you cry. Tooraloo.